I made it to Fujin with, I believe, Leroy, Raven, and Eddie, season 1. Yeah, because I play all the niggas. Okay, I'm a nigga lover. I love playing the black male characters any opportunity I get. I've been playing a little bit of Raven. Haven't really messed with Eddie that much this season, but Leroy has been my main since Tekken 7, and I really wanted to get him. I wanted to push him further than I ever did during season 1. I stopped at Fujin for 3 characters. I think I got maybe Kishin, but this time around, I really wanted Tekken King. I don't play Tekken often. I've maybe played a total of like 20 hours this season. I haven't played a lot, and it's been in very like small bursts. Tekken 8 really just it's a 3D fighting game of all time, right? So there's a lot of jank, a lot of fucked up bullshit that's gonna piss you off, and if it's not for you, you might not have a good time. I will say now, before I move forward, I'm not on all button. I am on stick, but I don't think anything I talk about here will necessarily be, tied to a device. It's mostly tied to a playstyle and a character. And the way that I like to think of Leroy is I like to think of him as a heavy mix-up character with strong neutral tools to get in. Right. Generally, whenever you're in this range, you have good options like down forward 3, down forward 1, forward 2-2, forward 2-2, and forward 2 as well. Right. So I could probably name a few moves that I use to make it to Tekken King and my general game plan and offensive style. Right. So most of what I did was sit in this range until I could get a knockdown. Generally, my knockdowns were scored off of a launch into a combo. All of them are basically the same. Like any Leroy combo will get you the launcher that leads to that splat. That back one, not only is it really good to knock them down so you can dash up and take Oki, it's also really good when you're in stance and you think your opponent is going to respect you. Back one in stance is amazing. Extremely slow, 20 frames, not super fast, but you have a lot of good ways to like pressure your opponent into not wanting to press, right? Like if they press immediately here, they get smacked by the mid. It was something that I had to learn quickly because in stance, at first, I was using way too much of the slower big options like this and this, which is back 1 and back 4, and back 3, 2, or back 3, 1+2, because that's how I've always done it. But I think his best tool inside of Hermit is 4, 1+2, and 3, 4. Those are 100% his best tools in Hermit. You don't need anything else until you can slow them down and stop them from pressing. And once you do, even though they're both punishable options, you're still mixing your opponent and forcing them to guess. After you condition them into standing still, you can start using the bigger options that are a lot stronger. That being sidestep 1+2 out of stance and sidestep 1+2 in neutral, which I think is really good. Very, very good. And sidestep 3+4, which puts you back into Hermit, right? So most of what I did was fishing around with jabs, down forward 3s, down forward 3, 1, down forward 1, and down forward 1+2 and 4, both of the extensions, right? I use a lot of mix, and maybe that's not the kind of playstyle you're looking for, but with Leroy, I think it's pretty strong, it's pretty phenomenal. He also has really good counter poke tools, like back 1 and back 1+2. And those keep people from pressing too often, and it becomes this like guessing game of when your opponent wants to press versus your offense that's not necessarily the strongest, right? Because Leroy's offensive tools, let me show you guys block all. Stuff like this is 0. It's not plus, right? Even this, -6. You go for this, you're -2. Maybe you sneak in a back 1 at 13 frames. Maybe you sneak in a back 1+2 at 12 frames. And these things are counter hit tools that knock down or lead to full combos, right? Another counter hit tool that I used a lot was that. I'm going to be quite honest, I don't think it's good past Tekken King. I don't know if you should just be sending full crouch down forward 4-1. I don't think you should be sending it after you get to this level, but up to it whenever you can catch someone's timing, get them in a tempo game, control the rhythm and the pace of the match, and when they want to press buttons. As a timing call out, it's phenomenal. You're already in crouch, it tech crouches, it is a full combo launcher, and you have good mid mix out of it, right? You have this as -14, so it's punishable. Wait, oops. It's -14, so it's punishable, but it's a 15 frame launcher if they think you're going to go for the low here and they want to block it or low parry it. And you have wall standing 4 at 13 frames. I'm sorry, wall standing 4 at 11 frames. This is 15, right? So the same frame mix up here. One option will always combo, the other option will only combo on counter hit. And that's my biggest mid-low mix. The things I used the most while in crouch was down 1-2. Down 1-2, and if I saw that I got the counter hit, confirming the 4, right? Every single time, every single time. Taking punishes, most of my best punishes were 1-2-4. I actually didn't do much punishment outside of 1-2-4 because 1-2-4 puts you in a stance at, let me show you what it puts you in a stance at. Puts you in a stance at +3, right? And when you're +3 in stance, that means if they press here, they get smoked. There's no 8 frames in the game. You got to hold that, which means that after you condition them to stand still, now you can start your offense with Hermit with this, with this, with this, and last but not least this. Oops. Oh, last but not least this, right? And you can loop a lot of this offense very well once you get your opponent to not squirm. When they're squirming, you've got to be able to slow them down with things like down forward 1, standing 4, I think is pretty good, and standing forward 3. I like standing 3, but I don't think this is particularly good. I think if you're going to use something that's 15 frames from this range, you should probably just go for your down forward 1 if it'll reach, because both of these are not tracked. They're not tracking moves. Like, neither one of them will track. This is 17 frames of tracks. I didn't use it very often. I don't really like back 4 that much. Like, if I'm gonna call out someone stepping, I'm actually just gonna send it on the mix-up button because it's plus, and it has chip damage, and it leads into heat if I think they're gonna counter poke. And if I don't think they're gonna counter poke, I can start rinsing some of his offense like this. You can start to mix them up with stance pressure. And both options out of the sidestep are plus, right? He also has a sidestep 2, but I like a sidestep 4, but I never used this. It's -12. It's actually a pretty solid low. Being only 18 frames and -12, not the worst thing in the world, but I didn't use it super duper often. I think if I was calling someone out on pressing buttons, which is what this low does, actually, it's not really that good of a sidestep button. It's more of like a timing call out. Let me show you guys what it does on counter hit. How do you set it to counter hit? Oh. I love Tekken. My bad. That means I got the counter hit. That's what you get on counter hit. But if I'm trying to use a big load to call out someone on counter hit, instead I'm using down back 3. Oh baby, does the same thing, and it tech crouches and slightly track step. This used to be a full tracking move. It's not anymore for good reason, but it's relatively good. You can use this here if you want to go into stance. That move is I-14, which means you can also, if you want, just take small damage. Take small damage and a knockdown. You can also... Oh, you can't do that. Wait, what is that? 16 frames? Yeah, it's 16. So your only options here are the 4 1+2 or the 1+2 1+2 2 1+2 1+2 1. I don't remember what the full name of the string. I just mashed 1+2, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't matter. It comes out. Some of the basic combos for Leroy, because I feel like I properly explained like what my game plan was and the buttons you can use in neutral. I guess I could go back over them real quick. Standing 1 as a jab check. Down 1-2 as a way to stop people from just pressing highs on you all day. Your mids, or at least my mids of choice, were definitely down forward 1, the strings along with them. Down forward 3-1, because it's 0 on hit and it's a quick duck reaction check. They have to be ready, because if not, it has a 3rd hit follow-up that blasts them across the fucking map and wall splats if they guess wrong there. Feels pretty bad. I like down 2. I didn't mention this move, but it is +3 on counter hit. Very solid. And it puts you in low stance, so now you can mix up with while standing 2 or with full crouch down forward 4-1, which I used as a timing catch. I used down forward 4-1 and down back 3 mostly as timing catch lows that also tech crouch or start in tech crouch. Not to mention, I don't think I have to mention this move, but down 3-2, I killed so many people with this move. I just down 3-2, sidestepped out, down 3-2, sidestep out, down 3-2, back 1, right? And people would just explode. It's just something that happens when you fight against Leroy. You have to be ready for down 3-2. It's low, high, fucking block it, and take the small punish that you can with something like a wall standing 4, instead of trying to get something bigger and maybe missing your punish window and dying, right? Not a good look. Parry, very strong. I can't say that people didn't play around it in the blue ranks, but in purple and in red, no one fucking played around it. It was basically a god button. It caught everything. And with the new changes, I think it wall splats now. I don't know if that's new or if it's been that way, but it like wall splats and you can full combo off it from certain angles, or just take like a 1+2 1+2 1 when they get high wall splat from it, which is pretty good. And that's basically the game plan. That's the entirety of my Leroy game plan. Hitting them with, long-reaching mids, checking them with jabs. My counter pokes being back 1+2, back 1, and then the low counter pokes that I mentioned a second ago. Lastly, what other move are we missing? I don't think we're missing any moves. I think that's basically it, right? You'll like mix in the launchers that you want. You'll mix in your orbital. You'll mix in your down forward 2, 1+2. I want to just show the baby combos that I used. If like maybe you're playing Leroy for the first time and you've never seen any of his combos, you don't know what to do. All of his combo routing, at least the main stuff, is basically the same. It's all gonna come off of that. Your forward 2, 3, 4 is gonna be your launch filler. After your launch, that's almost always what you're gonna do. So you can go down forward 2, 1+2 into this string, and then whatever your ender wants to be. For a long time, my ender was back 3, down 1, back 3, hermit back 1. So I would do any launch, forward 2, 3, 4, back 3, hermit back 1. The actual good combo is a little trickier, and you get slightly more damage. You get like 9 more damage. It's pretty good. So down forward 1+2, forward 2, 3, 4, and then you want to go into hermit 1, 1, 2, and then you want to dash up and use back 3+4. You get 81 damage for that non-counter in counter hit. 80 damage non-counter hit. It is phenomenal. But the only downside of that string, if you do the combo that I do, which is like the standard, I'll even do it off of something like his orbital. Boom, orbital, 4, 2, 3, 4, hermit 2. I think that's hermit 2, 3. I want to say that's hermit 2, 3. Yeah, that's the combo filler move, hermit 2, 3. So all of that stays the same. I do back 4 here, or forward, back 3, or forward 3 into heat engage or heat burst, and then I can do another back 3 into the back 1 from hermit. And it leaves in a space if you dash up where you're relatively safe. You don't have to worry about too many like fast buttons that aren't like tech crouching counter hit launchers. If you're trying to check with jab, if you're trying to check them with like a down for 1 or a something quick, like a quick mid, like even something like a forward 2, 2, right? I know that it's unsafe, but if you know it in your heart of hearts that they want to press a button on wake up and you need something that's a mid, that would be the thing to go for. Because it's I-14 and advancing and leads to the same combo again. Oops, I was supposed to do this, but whatever. That's basically all I used to make it to Tekken King with Leroy. I think this character has a very solid and simple game plan when you are trying to play like a mid-range focused game into the knockdown game plan where you get your mix. You get the knockdown and you just start mixing. But until then, you play with such good neutral tools that I think he can kind of box every character in the roster. The character that I disliked boxing the most, it wasn't even Jack, who has like giant buttons, right? It was like Fakumram, Brian, and like Shaheen. Those are the characters I disliked, playing that spacing and like range 2 to 2.4 with. I love this range for like every other character right here. Right where this move will hit and right where forward 2 will hit. I think that this is a great range. Oh, I guess it's like 2.2. Yeah, it's like 2.2. Great range for Leroy. But those characters have like way more explosive offense at that range where you just feel bad. So that's something to think about. Maybe for certain characters, you need to play a longer range and like wait for the whiff punish and go for like your forward 2-2 and take the whiff punish. Or you need to play an up close game, get close, get in, and start rinsing your plus frames over and over with things like sidestep 1+2, sidestep 3+4, up forward 2, stand jab, right? Take your plus frames on block into mix on block, so that your opponent is now playing at your speed. I did it a couple times versus characters like that. That's actually how I beat most of the Fakumrams I ran across. It didn't work versus Brian because he just mashes and you die. So I still had to play that same neutral game that I mentioned throughout most of this video. If you liked the video, I guess subscribe to the channel. I don't really put out too much Tekken stuff. I don't talk about Tekken a lot, but I do play it a decent amount. I don't particularly consider myself very good, so I'm really happy that I made it to Tekken King. It took me a lot of trial and error. I would do, a 1.5, 2 hour streams of me just running through ranked in Tekken, no warm up, and getting my fucking ass beat and getting demoted from Bushin back to Kishin, back to Bushin, back to Kishin. I think I even had a 5-hour stream one of these times, but this time, I believe I'm putting up the run as well on YouTube, so they'll both be up. Hopefully, hopefully they're enjoyable matches to watch. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, talking about my game plan, my simple game plan to make it to Tekken King with Leroy in Tekken 8 Season 2. Signing out and saying, don't forget to subscribe and like the video and comment down below if there's another character you want me to try to get. It's got to be one of the black characters. Signing out and saying, peace.